So the hookup just sent a message in the chat. Yo, man, it's a miracle I saw this thing, by the way. Said, did the shortage delay the production release of the next series? Will there be a 4080 before you can buy a 3080 at MSRP? It's a really good question, and it's one that people have been talking about a fair bit. Realistically, there's no way that the shortage delayed the R&D of the upcoming NVIDIA and AMD GPUs. I mean, that's something that is, NVIDIA and AMD, they're playing a game that is, it's on the order of years, not on the order of, how consumers think. I'm buying a PC in 2 months. That's about as far forward thinking as most consumers are going to be. Or they might think, okay, next generation consoles is sort of a best case scenario I could think of in terms of consumer planning. Next generation consoles are coming next year. I could see
in 1 to 2 years. Yeah.
Maybe I don't buy a whole bunch of games for my current gen console. Although in the case of Microsoft, I think they've done a pretty good job of forward and backward compatibility at the very least.
But maybe you don't get that like fancy new controller because there's going to be new controllers with the next console version or whatever else. You're not going to heavily invest in your current platform. Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't see it affecting R&D. But we have seen in the past, it affect the release schedules for products. Sure, yeah, absolutely. Because if NVIDIA can get, if they're going to spend $1 billion or whatever, creating a next generation GPU architecture, if they can make back $4 billion instead of $3.5 billion or whatever the numbers work out to be, if they can make another, $500 million on that investment, why wouldn't they, if there's absolutely no competitive reason for them to release the next gen GPU? Now, there are still reasons to keep releasing GPUs when you have no competition. Otherwise, NVIDIA wouldn't have done it at all for quite a long period of time there. Because they really just didn't have any competition. But being able to resell to the same customer, I mean, that's what drove innovation in the computer space for so long. Being able to drive people on this, yearly or bi-yearly or tri-yearly upgrade cycle. I mean, that's why
basically no more than 3. There was even like fairly not super into tech families that I used to know that used to live on more or less a 3-year cycle. Every 3 years they'd get a new family desktop.
Exactly. So there's two kind of ways of looking at it. On the one hand, you want to reach as much saturation with each generation you invest in as possible to get the most out of that investment. But then number 2 is you don't want to wait so long that your loyal customers who come and buy from you with this regular cadence just go and buy a mountain bike instead, right? Because if they have that kind of disposable income, you want to capture it. And if you don't come out with something new, you're not going to capture it. So both of those are factors that they have to consider. So I would say it could delay it. I would be surprised if it delays it more than 6 months to a year, though, because NVIDIA wants to take those customers that run out and buy a 3090 or 2 3090s. There's got to be a reason they kept SLI on that thing, right? Those customers who buy that thing, NVIDIA wants to sell them a 90 or 2 every time. Bring it on. Those are great customers from NVIDIA's perspective.
Yeah, I guess that's probably, I'm sure this term is used in more industries than the mobile gaming industry. I'm sure that's like NVIDIA's whales. The people that buy like a 90 or 2 every generation. Yeah, you want to keep those whales happy, dude.
Yeah, it's a good island. It's a good island full of good people.
Yeah.
Got to keep whales happy. All right, so we got. Sorry, it's terrible.